Hi everybody, this is going to be another Beatles update. Recent Beatle items, solo Beatle items that I found, and I have quite a good batch here, I think. I think it'll be interesting. Some unusual stuff, some common stuff, but a lot of unusual stuff here that I think that a lot of fans will enjoy. Now, this is stuff recently acquired, and I hope the lighting in here is good enough to really show this because it's a foggy day coming through the windows. I want to start by the beginning and saying that I really generally resist buying records online. I'm not really an online shopper, but I've come to the conclusion that if I wait around for my record stores to get some really rare bootleg albums, unofficial records, I'm going to be waiting forever. So I decided to do some online shopping and track down items from my old collection that I've sold and that I'm trying to replace. And the only way to do that and really target it, unless you happen to luck into it out there in the wild, is you have to order it online. And that's what I did. So the first two items, I'm sorry, the third one is still on the way. I'm waiting for a third item. First two items are online acquisitions, and I'm going to start with this. This is a record I used to have, double record. It's called John Lennon Willowbrook Rehearsals. It's for the children of Willowbrook. This is rehearsals for the concert that he did with Elephant's Memory in 1972, which would come to be the one-to-one benefit concert that Geraldo Rivera had a hand in. And here's the back cover. This is a great double bootleg on Toasted Records. The label's not much to get excited about, but there it is. And some of these rehearsals are very rough, but what I enjoy about this a lot actually is at the beginning there's a nice piece that runs, I don't know if it runs a full 10 minutes, but it's John and Yoko and Geraldo Rivera trying to do radio tags to advertise adding a matinee performance to this, because the first show had been sold out, the evening performance, so they added a special matinee, and they're trying to get this right, doing tags for the radio for that. It's pretty funny, I think. It's a record I wanted for a long time, and you have to go get it yourself. There's also the next item, which I sent for online, is another John Lennon thing. This is an album called Before Play. John and Yoko Before Play. And what this is the only known, I'm pretty sure, double fantasy sessions that exist. I think the history of this album, now, and let me just say, this is an album that I think was released in 1987. I remember getting this at a store and sold it off in my original collection. There's the John and Yoko with the session musicians and crew. The story about this is that the sessions for Double Fantasy, a lot of them, I don't know if all of them, but a lot of them were filmed. As of this time, none of the film footage of this has turned up. There's a belief that it was destroyed. I think Jack Douglas, the producer, said this. We don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly John didn't like his appearance in the film footage. Very thin, and there's even a reference on this record where he said the camera's in his face, and he says, "I know what I look like a fucking bird," he says, to be honest with you. So sorry about you kids out there, but I don't know if it's true or not, but he does make reference to this, that he looks like a bird, and he doesn't like the way he looks on this recording. This album is the audio from those filming sessions. So what you got on here is very rough, crude run-throughs. Some of these are online on YouTube. You can see them. John and the band doing run-throughs of She's a Woman from the Beatles days, starting over, Dream Lover. Funny thing is, though, on this album, the vocals are really up front. However the mix is on this, all you hear really are John's vocals. You hear the instrumentation, but it's really in the background. It's like from John's mic, most of this. So the music itself is very kind of low and subdued. Now, I've seen, or heard rather, online, some of the takes of Dream Lover and you can actually hear the musicians loud on that. I don't know where this film footage or video footage, maybe maybe it was on video. I don't know if it was video or film, but anyway, I don't know where this visual footage is of this. I hope it's not destroyed. I've actually seen a website where a couple of photos turned up from the film itself. Maybe, I don't know if that means the film survives somewhere, but apparently it's something that's hard to come by. As far as I know, that record's the only where really you can get double fantasy outtakes, jam sessions, if you will. It's mostly like a jam session. They're not official outtakes. Alright, now that's it for what I've ordered online. There's one more thing, as I say, that I've ordered online, and I'm just waiting for it to come. Here's something I got at my record store. This is something I had in the old days. It's a Paul McCartney bootleg. It's from the James Paul McCartney television special from 1973. Paul did a TV special in 73, and this is the bootleg of it. It has the whole show on it. There's the TV guide cover on the front, how he looked in a TV guide of 1973. And the back actually is cool. It actually has the page reproduced, the close-up talking about the special and the TV lineup from that day. So it's cool, this thing. It says Club Sandwich. I don't think this is officially released through Paul McCartney's fan club. I don't believe that, but that's what it says on it. Club Sandwich. This is the name of McCartney's fan club newsletter, I think. So another one that I was able to get back just by my record store one day. Also from the good old record store, this came up. This is George Harrison 12-inch from all those years ago. Just a promotional copy, not for sale. White sleeve, no pictures or anything. And it's for, I guess, radio stations only, promotional copy. It's on the Dark Horse label. Both sides here just have all those years ago. The same 3-minute and 42-second version. There's no differing version of the song, just the usual song. Okay, the next item that I have is a common item, but not very common like this. And I have it, unfortunately, I have it in a Japanese bag, so resaleable bag. It's the Ram album original. I have to open it up though for a reason. My water bottle. I have to open this up for a reason, which I'll show you. Alright, let me just take it out of here. The reason that I have this album a couple of times already, but the reason that I bought this one is because it's in its original shrink wrap. How well the shrink wrap shows up, don't know, but it's got the shrink on it. It's not sealed. It's a gatefold, so I can't open the gatefold. But one thing that's interesting, and I try to collect these records, I want all the Beatles and solo Beatles in shrink wrap as close to the store shelves as I can get them. This is interesting. This is side 1 with the apple. Side 2 also has a full apple. I don't know what that's about. I never heard of that before. Side 2 always has the sliced apple. I don't know if this is a misprint or what, but I don't recall ever seeing it. Maybe somebody knows the information. Too lazy to look it up online. But the songs are listed properly. I mean, side 2 lists the side 2 songs, and side 1 lists the side 1 song. So it's not as if the side 1 label was, reused. This is odd. I never really heard of that before. But the main draw for me buying this was not the record. It was because of having it in shrink. Okay, here's another record that's in shrink, but this is an import, although you really can't tell it by the cover. It's Wings Wildlife. It's in the shrink, and I don't know what country it's from. Again, I looked, I can't really see, but it's a foreign company. Spain, maybe? I don't know. It looks like Spanish. The record label is the same. You really can't see anything on the record label. But it's a little warped. The record's not warped, but the cover is warped. I mean, this is a case where I think the shrink wrap did kind of like tighten. I mean, I'm always against that. People are afraid of shrink wrap because they think it's going to warp the records. The only time that really happens is if you don't slice it open and air gets through. You let some air get through. And also, I think this was in a person's collection who had them all in the basement, and they were all kind of like jammed together. So I don't think this record was well cared for, aside from the shrink tightening. You know, I just think everything was just lumped together. So that could have a lot to do with it. Alright, okay, next record. This came in from the same collection. This is Paul's Russian album. Choba BCCCP. Not one of my favorite McCartney albums, and I have this already, but supposedly the allure about this particular album is the guy was saying this is not a bootleg, this is not an import, this is right from Paul McCartney's his own fan club. And in the back there's a little newsletter in here that comes with it. Now let's look at that. You know, I've seen copies of this being auctioned on the website, and this is the original notes that tell you all about Paul's new album and how it was bootlegged in America already, and there's copies floating all around. So we here at Club Sandwich, Paul, MPL Communications, are going to help you get an official copy. We're going to, make it an actual real copy for you, not a bootleg or a knockoff. This one is on a red label. There's a lot of copies of this floating around. This one's on a red label. Most of the copies I've seen in my record store, you had about 20 copies on the overstock. I looked at all of them. They were all white labels. This is a red label, which is different. The one I have in my collection now is a typical white label. So maybe the red label means something different. The history of this album is very complex as far as I can see. And, which copies are legit and which copies aren't, I don't know. But this one is I think, as close to a legit one as you can get. Unless, of course, you have the copy from Russia, which is something I'd be on the lookout for. And the Russian copy has, instead of this being white, it's tinted yellow. So it's a tinted yellow one you want to look at. And if you have the CD of the Russian album by Paul, you can see that they used the yellow tinted cover for that, copying the original Russian release. Alright, another Paul album. This is another one I have. It's a very common album, but I found it with the shrink on, and it's the McCartney interview from 1980. Really good interview in the shrink wrap, not warped. If they're handled right, and it's got the nice price sticker, which is always kind of an insult. Makes you feel like it's a cheapo album, but it does say specially priced limited collector's edition sticker. For those of us that like hype stickers, this was a no-brainer to pick up. So, okay, batch of records came into my store. They were like $1 each, and I picked this up. The Beatles Concerto. This is like classical pieces of Beatles songs. And on the back there's kind of like liner notes by George Martin on the top, where he talks about the Beatles or gives his blessing to the project or whatnot. And this is just as a completist, like to have everything. A couple items here. I have, how many do I have here? 2. Okay, Marv, Beatle Vinyl 85, I think that's his screen name, showed a 12-inch version of this. I found a 7-inch version of it. It's on the Apple label from the UK. It's a picture disc of Hey Jude and Revolution. You see the Apple on the back. The actual picture record there. There's the Hey Jude side. And the B side has Revolution. It's a nice little item. Nice picture. Okay, next thing to show. And this was just, I got this for free actually. It doesn't have, excuse me, it doesn't have a sleeve. It's an EP, the Beatles Songs. This is from Germany on the Odeon label. I believe it's an original. I don't have the sleeve for it. You got If I Fell, It Can't Buy Me Love on one side. That's side 2. Side 1 is A Hard Day's Night and I Should Have Known Better. And I got this for nothing. It was just laying around. So, and that kicks it in the head for this particular installment of Beatles Finds. So hope you enjoyed some of these, and leave your comments, please. And thanks for watching.